Hey, everybody. We are live. This is Mehrban Iranshad, host of Tennis Summit 2022 with my dear friend, Peter Freeman from Crunch Time Coaching. And we're here to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that 3-0 to 4-5 doubles players make, as well as just cover the upcoming summit for this week. Really excited to have you all live with us and for you to experience one of the most magical weeks of the year, in my slightly biased opinion. But Peter, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. We always have a lot of fun. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, I like that countdown music. That got me pumped up. That was cool. And I love seeing people on the chat already. So hello, everybody. And I just want to, again, congratulate Mehrban. This is his 6th tennis summit, which is amazing. So much work. It gets better every year. So I'm just happy to be part of it, Mehrban. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Pete. Yeah, let's give some shout outs to peeps on the chat. So we have Noah. What's up, Noah? How are you? We have Edward here. Yes, we're East Coast time for me anyway. Yeah, and Pete as well in Atlanta.
Yes.
Hopefully nobody stalks you now that they know where you are. Let's see, there's 6 to 7 sessions. Yeah, so great question right away. So we're going to release those sessions at 9 a.m. and then they'll be up for 48 hours for you all to watch if you have the free pass. And if you want to get the all access pass and watch it whenever you want, we'll talk about that a bit later. But yes, and let's see. Steven, looking forward to the instruction, implementing changes on court. Yes, for sure. That's the biggest part of it all. You know, you can watch all the presentations, but you need to really go and take action out there, schedule some time in your calendar, go and implement, and then see the changes. It's really magical when you get instruction and then you're able to change your game from that. So I love doing that myself. That's what I'm striving for. Let's see. Let's do this. Yes, Aaron. Excellent. Pat, yep, we've started. Michael, you're ready. We're ready. Jim, all good to go. Yes, indeed. Dario, hello from Uruguay. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Love to see that international flavor. Alex, maybe you've seen Alex. He's in ATL as well. Brian, Maryland. Yes, let's go. Excellent. We've got Jamie from Philly. Hello again. DT from Guam.
Wow.
Yumo, good evening. Wow, we have a lot of peeps. Pat from NorCal, Barbara from Fort Myers.
Yes.
Wow, we have just so many people. I can't help but keep going. Nova Scotia, Canada. What's up? Love it. Let's see here. Ready to learn and grow my game. Lay, excellent. Love it. NorCal. Tracy, it's snowing again. Oh, Minnesota. It's warm over here. Yeah.
Then you got Las Vegas, baby. Las Vegas.
Thank you for gambling on us, Bilal. Appreciate it. Excellent. Oh, we have more. Janita, I hope I pronounced that right. Montreal. I heard that's a beautiful place. Lori from Santa Barbara. Boris from San Jose. Jeanette, Florida Keys. Brian, Texas, in the house. Steven from Mill Valley, California. And Xiao from Pittsburgh. Marietta, Georgia. Tame Devil, and Stephen, New Brunswick. All right. Yes, we're going to have a fitness routine too. All right. I'll shout out other people later. Pete, you can hear me okay, right?
You sound amazing.
So do you. I love it.
All right.
Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent. So yeah, we are going to talk about the biggest issues that I have found in playing a lot of matches and watching a lot of matches. We're going to focus on the 3-0 to 4-5 level, but I mean, you'll see some of this in even higher levels. I mean, I have as well. So I am excited to talk about these from my experience. So, Pete, any last thoughts or comments before we launch into this, and then talk about the summit afterwards and a special bonus as well as prizes?
Yeah. I don't really. Oh, Michael Loyola, who I used to teach. That's great. So I don't really have anything too much to say other than let's dive in. I've heard this presentation from you, which I thought was fantastic. That's why I thought we should do it on this because it's the 5 most common doubles mistakes, 3-0 to 4-5 players. And again, you have it from experience, from playing, and then also from learning from all the amazing coaches. So let's go into what is the first common mistake that doubles players make that they can be aware of and then work on, not doing it anymore?
The first biggest mistake is that they don't take lessons from Peter Freeman.
I agree.
And
No.
that's also the other four. No, the first one that I found to be super interesting is that they give away tells. And I don't know if you've experienced this, Peter, but I started paying attention more and more to the signals that my opponents give me. And sometimes a lot of players don't actually even use signals and whatnot. But a specific instance was when I played in a 9-5 mixed combo league. So I played with a 4-5 player. I'm a 5-0, and we played against another of the same caliber as well. And so what I found is that when I was returning, if the server had said yes to the very first signal that the opponent gave for the location of the serve, it was always the backhand. And then if the net player gave a second signal, so let's say the server said no, and then the net player gave a second signal, and the server said yes, it would always go wide to my forehand, and this is to the deuce court. And if there was another no and then a yes to the third signal, it would be into the body. And another one as well that I see a lot is that if you're giving two signals and like the first one's location and then the second one stay or go, a lot of times I find that if the server doesn't respond, so let's say I do this for stay, and the server doesn't respond, then that means that the net player is staying. Whereas if the net player gives like a go signal, and then the server would say yes. So that's a weird one, but I found that to happen with several players as well. So I say this to say that you need to really pay attention to the signals, because that made a huge difference for me. Like when I caught on to that, I I could split step and just go pretty confidently to that location. And then I actually I hit just like 3 screamers, after I found that out. And then on the changeover, after we had broken that one server for the second time in a row, the individual looked at me and said, am I telegraphing my serve? And then I kind of looked at the ground and said, oh, I'm just kind of taking lucky guesses. And he said, that sounds like BS. So, I would just say that tennis is such a mental sport. It's such a strategic sport that I think a lot of us play on autopilot a bit too much, and we don't really pay attention to the cues that our opponents are giving us and their verbal communications and things like that. So you really do want to pay attention, and it's really particularly fun for me to figure these things out and have that little advantage. So yeah, that's the first one, is just the tells and the cues, paying attention to that. And a lot of players, whether it's intentional or unintentional, they're giving away very valuable tells. So, and I think you're probably going to ask about this, but a solution to that, at least that first one that I mentioned that I caught on to, that tell, is that you want to mix up the signals that you're giving as a net player, so that you don't know what the first signal is going to be. It's not always going to be to the backhand. So any thoughts on that? Have you seen this, Peter? What do you think?
I love this because that was something I was paying attention to when you were doing this and I was listening to you. I was like, that is a great point, because I was even thinking of my own matches. We tend to get into our comfortable habits, and usually your partner is going to give you a sign that they think that A, you're comfortable with serving to, and B, that they're comfortable executing. So especially lots of people are not comfortable poaching. So like if they give that sign of like, I'm gonna stay, usually the server will be like, yeah, I got it or whatever, because it's just like normal. Like I pretty much predict you're not gonna go. But then when someone gives a go, normally you can usually tell a difference in the voice, like yes, like let's try it. And we're not thinking that we're just think we're communicating with our partner, but we're actually giving away what we're going to be doing. And I found that to be really, really interesting when you said that. And it reminded me a week before, because I coach some high performance juniors, and the person who runs it used to coach for Pepperdine College. And he said that with his players, they would specifically talk about the call play, and sometimes they would intentionally like go through, like they'd be ridiculous. They'd give like 8 different calls. It'd be like no, 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 yes, like to where like, well, there's not even that many choices. Like, what are they even talking about? Just to always kind of stay one step ahead in their opponents, get into their head. Like, what are they even doing? There's not even that many signs. How could they be saying no all the time? So I think that this is great and flying under a lot of people's radar. And I could even say I've probably been guilty of this myself, because I will typically, when I'm giving signs to my serving player, I'm always trying to think, well, what do they probably want me to give them? And you just kind of get into your comfort zones, and that's making you predictable.
Yeah, definitely. I love that story as well. One of my good buddies, Mike, who I don't know if he's on the stream, but he'll do that sometimes in our practices where he'll say no like 4 times just so that you have no idea what he's going to call next. But yeah, we've got some great comments already. Sounds like baseball signs. True,
Yes.
true. DT, how about coaching the server to respond the same regardless of the signals? That can work. Yeah, that can work. Let's see
Go
what
to the next one,
else.
Christopher, because I agree with
Yeah.
him.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
Because I like building that rapport. I like the
Yeah.
connection, and I think it's a big thing that we're missing out on, is that connection. Whether you play with a regular partner, or even more important, if you don't know the person, you know, you build that rapport by coming together and talking, and also really understanding what the server wants. I think it's important to understand what your server wants and to make them feel comfortable, rather than put them in situations that they don't feel comfortable. And the more you connect with each other, I really like that idea. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I love communicating as well, and it's great as well when you're in like a tough situation or maybe you're down love 30 really quickly, then you want to communicate. I actually do both. I'll communicate most of the time and then also give the signal just for like a confirmation. But you can, if you're comfortable, you can verbally say it and then just not even use signals. So great point there, Christopher. Appreciate it. Jamie, at 3.0 level, using signs at all is quite rare in my experience. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I do believe that if you actually then use signals and communicate more, then you'll have a great advantage. So yeah,
And again, even more important than signals, Jamie, I think this is extremely important, is to be communicating in between points, to where you ask if you're the person who's the net person, asking the server, what do they feel comfortable hitting? It could be like, do you like to serve? Where do you want to serve? Just ask them, hey, where do you want to serve? And then that will tell you a lot about what they can and can't do. They might say, well, I like to serve out to the backhand, or I like to serve to the forehand, or they might tell you, I can't aim. I don't even, I'm just hoping to get in the box. That's fine. At least now you know what your partner feels comfortable with and not. Where if you're just kind of playing and going back and forth and you never talk about anything, you guys have no idea what you're capable of and what you're not capable of, and what you're confident about and what you're not confident about. So the more you keep asking your partner, what do you want to do? What are you feeling right now? What do you think we should do? Rather than, hey, let's try this, let's do that. That's what I think people get wrong with communication. They always think that they have to come up with the idea, but I think it's better to ask the question of, what would you like to do? And then you can find out what they feel comfortable on, rather than going, hey, why don't you try this shot? And then they're like, I'm so nervous about this, but I don't want to tell my partner that.
yeah,
And they'll go, yeah, sure. You know,
yeah, yeah. Super great point there. Appreciate that, Peter. Jim, what's up, Jim? You may have heard that U.S. players figured out that Boris Becker put his tongue out to the side, yes, of his mouth that he was going to serve to. That's pretty hilarious. Kick serve.
yep.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
But who was that? That was against Agassi. Agassi figured that out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, great supporter of the summit.
Oh
What's
yeah.
up?
Tom is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, lots of finger signs at the Monte Carlo Masters doubles finals today. Yes, yes, there was. And did you see Rajiv getting hit in a not so fun area? That was bad luck as well.
Mm,
Yeah, the net cord, and then it hit him. And
mm.
I'm sure it hurt pretty bad. Blake, good evening to you as well. Bilal, I can't aim that part. Laszlo, how to communicate when your partner's serve is weak or he/she cannot aim. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the most important thing is to let them know that's okay. If they come up to you and you like say, "Hey, where do you like to serve?" And they all of a sudden say, "Oh, well, I don't really have a good serve. I can't really aim." Rather than just kind of going, "Oh, okay, well, whatever. Then I'm not going to talk." I guess then you want to say, "Oh, that's okay. Do the best you can." Well, what do you feel comfortable with serving? Do you go for your first serve and then tap in your second serve? Do you tap both serves in? Just like ask them, what do you like? What do you feel comfortable doing in your serve? And then you guys can and then you can admit to them like, okay, well, that's cool. And, I actually, you know, really like to poach, or I'm scared to death to poach. So I'll probably be staying still most of the match, even though I know I should poach. I just don't like to do it, or you might decide, hey, if you don't feel comfortable in your serve, and if it's not going well for a couple games, you know, are you okay with me staying back? Because I have really good ground strokes, and maybe we can just out rally them, and then if they both come to the net, we'll lob them. What do you think about that idea? You see, it shouldn't just be like, oh well, their
Mhm.
serve sucks, so we're just gonna get broken all day. You guys got to work together to problem solve.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a match in a government league where my partner and I, we thought we should have been winning, but we were actually getting trounced. And what happened is that we figured out, you know what? I think if we play two back, we're actually going to do well. And so we played two back, and then we won like the next like 7 games. So yeah, it's all about problem solving, for sure. And yeah, that's what kind of saying there, Lynn. Play two back if your serve is that weak, so your partner at the net doesn't get killed. Very true. Got to adjust. Got to adjust. So good stuff. So what do you think? Should we go to number 2?
I think we should go to number 2. So what's the second most common mistake 3-0 to 4-5 players make, Mehrban?
Thank you for your blessing, Peter. All right, number 2. It's a pretty short one in terms of explanation, but I have found that the backhand volley is just a much weaker part of the person's game in doubles, and it's something that you all got to work on. But if I'm in a dangerous situation or I'm on the run or something like that, apart from the lob, I'm usually targeting that backhand side because what usually people end up having like a weaker grip for their backhand. And I remember Coach Ryan Reedy, who was actually on the summit with like over 40 others who are amazing, and he talked about how a lot of players, they should actually adjust their grip on the backhand side because they just don't quite get it square if they're using the continental grip or some other grip. And I can remember a league match a couple of months ago where I hit a shot to the net player's backhand side. It was a high one, and then they bricked that out, and then I was in trouble on the run, and I quickly thought, let's do that again, and the person missed it again, and so I just kept targeting the backhand. And I think it was Louis Caillet, who's also on the summit, one of the greatest doubles coaches of all time, if not regular coaches, or coaches for all sorts of singles and doubles and mixed. And he said that as part of their British doubles system, they target the backhand and they try not to go to the forehand, more than once, so I would definitely think about targeting the big weakness of most doubles players, which is their backhand volley. Any thoughts on this, Peter?
I totally agree with you. And again, I think that we make the mistake of when we have the ball hit to us and we have a person at the net that we're thinking we got to figure out a way to pass them. We got to figure out a way to hit a great shot and realize that there's not too many people that can consistently put volleys away, especially the backhand volley. It is so hard. You've got to have really good technique on your backhand volley to get any kind of power, placement, and consistency. So look for that, and I think that's a great, great point. Somebody said my mic is low. If I
Is
just tell
it?
me, I don't know. What
It,
do you guys?
it seems all right to me. I mean, I would
Okay.
obviously try to just make the volume go higher. I mean, for the viewers, I don't know, Pete, if you can try to push it up.
Well,
If other people are having issues, can you also type in the chat as far as Peter's mic volume? But you sound fine to me.
okay.
Um, yeah,
It's fine,
yeah.
says Peter Asher. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Cool.
Let's see. Awesome, awesome. Uh, just looking at some comments. When the topic comes up, I'd like to know more about getting more punch on my volleys, especially the backhand side. You know what? That was actually my that was a follow-up question for me as well, Peter. So thanks for bringing that up. Peter, what do you think are, is the top key or a couple keys to getting, a solid contact on the backhand volley and getting proper depth?
All right, that's a great question. So first of all, and we're talking about adding more power. So if we want to add more power, that means that we have a good look at the volley, or we're coming to the net and we know that if so when I say we're coming to the net, I mean we're like in the service box area, maybe behind it. So we know that power is what we need. If we just flub the volley or just place it, it's not going to do enough damage. So you kind of have a good look at it. We're not talking about getting power on a ball that's coming so fast. So we're talking about actually adding power. So number one, what you need, if we're talking about the backhand side, is you got to be good with your offhand. I'm left-handed, right? So I'm holding the racket down here, and then my offhand, I want to really be good at finding the ball how do I do this? Very cleanly with the top hand. That's number one. Like you're going to catch the ball on your strings and use your top hand to find it. Number two is when you go to volley on your backhand side. And I actually just finished a camp this weekend, and the guy was always elbowing his volley. See that? His elbow is very bent, and he'd go like this, and you have zero power. So you want to think about having a slight elbow bend. You do need some elbow bend, but you want to think about moving your shoulder more than your elbow. People have weak backhand volleys. They elbow the volley rather than push their shoulder to it. And then the other thing is, and this is what's really going to give you the power at the more you can sync this up. If I'm going to hit a backhand volley, so as a left-hander, it's my right side. I've got to load up on my back glute, my back booty, and transfer the weight into my inner thigh, my groin, right? I push through there and then I step. That's going to give it the pop, as well as I want to make sure that I extend the elbow out to where I can't reach any more forward. If you still have play in your arm after you're done your volley, you're not going to hit it as hard as you can. If you extend it out and there's no more room for that elbow to go, then you're not going to get as much power. Then finally, you're trying to keep the racket head. Where's my hand? You're trying to keep the wrist up. If your wrist breaks, you're going to hit weak volleys. So, and this is one of the hardest things to do. It's so hard. Even I struggle. If I'm not playing a lot of tennis, my wrist will break and I'll hit a weak volley. If my timing is good, which I don't know when it will ever be good again because I just teach way more than I play, but if I'm playing well, my wrist is locked up and the racket head is still up. Okay, so that is all the things you need to do to the backhand volley, but it takes a lot of practice.
It sure does, yeah. And breaking that wrist is definitely something I've had to work on a lot, for sure. Let's see here. We'll take a couple more before we go to number 3. So Jim, Emma Doyle, great coach on the summit as well, teaches a net player will say to the service 0, no poach, 50, look to poach, but only go as far as center line, or 100, poaching all the way. That is interesting. I kind of like that. That's kind of like football, where they have names for different plays. So that is good. But I guess if people pay attention enough, they'll catch on to that as well. But not everyone. So that's a good one.
Yeah, and I think it'll take a lot of people a while, to figure that out.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it.
Good one though. I like it as well. Aaron G, nice coffee mug, Pete. What you got there? What is that? That's beautiful. Look at that. Did you make that yourself?
I did. I did in crafts class, arts and crafts.
Wow.
I made it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's high quality.
They got nice little snowflakes on it. It's good.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's see. Donald, please talk about off-center or mishits as we age. It seems as I get older, it happens more often. Can you suggest a drill or two to help with this? Peter, what are your thoughts? And I'll give mine.
Okay, that's great. I mean, there's certain things you can do, exercises you can do, actually playing tennis to just make your timing better. I think maybe the best one I ever heard, because I could go on and give you like a million different ones, but my best one is I was at a USPTA conference and Nick Salviano said that this is what he tells his players for timing and focus, is that when they're getting ready to hit, they say to themselves, over the net and in. That's the timing. They get ready to hit and they say to themselves, over the net and in. And of course, there's footwork involved too. He's a big believer in getting your feet moving 100%. and over the net and in. And so just as you're hitting it, you're going over the net and in, over the net and in. And it worked because the same day I watched Nick Saviano give this speech at USPTA, and he coached a ton of players on the WTA and ATP tour. Plus, he was a great player himself. We had this fun night where we were going to play basically mini tennis with foam balls with kids' rackets. So I didn't bring my racket. I was a speaker. I didn't bring my tennis racket. And this one guy asked if I wanted to hit, but he wanted to hit regular court with a regular ball. So I just grabbed the kid's racket, and he had his regular racket. So my racket was like a piece of aluminum. It was like hitting with tin foil, and I kept missing. And I was getting embarrassed because I couldn't keep a ball in play. And then I finally started to say to myself as I was hitting, I was going over the net and in, over the net and in. And I'm not kidding. I don't think I missed the ball for over 5 minutes.
Wow. Love that. Yeah, I mean, that's great right there. I also can think of a couple really good drills and thoughts. I mean, so Faisal Hassan, who is a fantastic coach, he's on the summit this year. He previously talked about this great drill called bounce hit. And this really ups levels your focus, you know? So yeah, basically, you know, it's just like you make sure to zoom into the ball, and then when it bounces, you say bounce. When you're going to hit the ball, you say hit, and that helps you a lot. And then also as well, just trying to keep your eye on the contact point for just like a second. You want to exaggerate it, and just let's say one more second, you keep your eyes where you hit the ball. So that would be another really good drill. There's another one as well where like you kind of set up like a target kind of where it should be, where the ball would be in your like eye line. I guess if you're getting fed like the same consistent ball, it'd be easier. And then like your goal is to stare at that target, you know, after you hit the ball. So yeah, there's a lot of really good drills on that. And Faisal is talking about the contact point awareness, which will help with that this year on the summit. So yeah, a lot of good ways to work on that and improve it. We all need that.
Can I give a huge shout out? We got Ryan from 2 Minute Tennis. I want to congratulate him for all his success. Let's put that comment up there. And I agree.
Yeah,
Thanks for creating the Tennis Summit. So valuable for players. Ryan is part of the Tennis Summit, and I hope he'll come back for Tennis Con. And I just think he's an outstanding coach. And I use lots of your tips when I am teaching, Ryan. I use lots of your tips when I'm teaching as well. So you do a great job.
Ryan's the man. I mean, we just talked about Ryan's, tip about how players don't change their grip on the backhand side, which they should in most cases. So yeah, Ryan does a great job. He's part of the summit, like I mentioned. He's been on Tennis Con. He's got tons of subscribers. I don't even know how many, 140K or whatever it is. They're definitely over 100. So congrats to Ryan on everything he's doing. So let me try to scroll back up. I know we've got so many comments here. Let's see. DT Pete possible. Oh yeah, that's the mic. Chris, so true. Many players won't poach on their backhand side. Yeah, exactly. And that's even affected me in the past too. Like I've actually been just more confident to poach when I'm a net player on the deuce side, and conversely, a little more hesitant to poach on the backhand side, especially if I'm facing players who are going to rip the return. You know, because having that stability on the backhand volleys is tough. Alex Stern, do you mean a high backhand volley though? I feel most people are more consistent with a low backhand volley around the height of the knees. I think most people seem to struggle with the high backhand volley. I agree. I think of all the shots, the high backhand volley is probably the toughest one for players to hit. I mean, I know you hear on TV a lot of times when somebody's lobbed on the backhand side and they have to hit a backhand overhead. That's also like one of the toughest shots. But yeah, certainly, if it's hip height and whatnot, that's much easier. When you go to a low volley, again, it's still a little more difficult. But yeah, I mean, any differing thoughts on that, Pete?
Well, high backhand volley is one of the toughest shots in the game.
Yeah.
In general, high shots will give people trouble. I will just tell you as a general rule, whenever the ball is higher, you need to create more space. So like, for example, I don't know if maybe you can blow me up full screen, but if I'm here, right, I look comfortable hitting this volley. Now, if I rise up here, now all of a sudden I look awkward hitting this volley, right? So here looks good. Up here, I look weird. So what do I need to do? I need to reset and be more here. See, so I create more space. Then I can hit a better volley.
Mm,
Yeah. So
love
just
that.
make
You get
sure you
more
create that
leverage.
space. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, good stuff. We got Mike, sounds good. As you mentioned, Jamie, I feel like my two-handed backhand volley is actually pretty solid and stable. Makes sense though in terms of what to target on other folks. Pete, I know we're we're gonna go for like 3 hours at this rate, but what are your thoughts on the two-handed volley? If somebody is comfortable with the two-handed volley, do you suggest that they keep going on with it or switch to one-hand volley on the backhand side? What do you think?
I would say if you've got a great two-hand volley and you know that you're winning points because of your two-handed volley and not losing points, keep the two-handed volley. Um, get proficient and good enough that when you get stretched, you can still be okay taking the hand off and making some volleys. Like you're going to have to do it on some stretches. You're going to have to do it on some low volleys and things like that. But I really thought Jimmy Connors was a fantastic volleyer with two hands. I used to play a guy named Mike Sell who had great, amazing hands, two hands on his volley. You're seeing Brooksby. He's got great hands, especially, that his two-handed slice. You ordinarily wouldn't teach somebody to have a two-handed slice. I think his two-handed slice is awesome. So, I wouldn't recommend that he changes because it's so good. So yeah, I do agree that if you're very confident and you're winning points because of your volley and not losing points, you don't necessarily have to change.
Excellent, excellent. One more, and then we'll go to the third one. Any clarity on hitting overheads when stepping into a short lob? Any clarity? What are we thinking here? Do we need clarification on that question, Pete, or can you interpret?
Well, I mean, I guess he's saying, what do we do when it's a short lob and we have an overhead?
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
I think number one is you want to make sure that you actually have an overhead. I see too many people, the balls drop
Mhm.
too low at the point,
Yeah,
and they should give up on the overhead and just go with a high block volley, and they still try
yeah.
and hit an overhead and they
Like a
collapse.
sidearm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other thing is most recreational players are very bad with their offhand. Okay, the arm is like low, it's like there, and then as they go to hit their overhead, it drops more. You see the pros
Hmm.
when they're serving and hitting overheads, they get into a deep tilt, and that's going to help you really keep that ball over the net and slam it down. So those would be my two biggest pieces of advice.
Nice. Nice. Thank you, Pete. So good stuff. So how about we move on to the third one? What do you think, Pete?
I think I want to know what's the third most common mistake that these
All
players are
right.
making.
All right. So, and somebody, I apologize, can't remember who said it, but said that, a lot of in the 3-0 players, they don't use this. And what it is, what you talked about is one of a part of this whole category. And the mistake is that 3-0 to 4-5 players don't incorporate enough poaching, I formation, and Australian formations. They don't do as well as fake poach. And this is critical. This can help you so much because it'll disrupt the rhythm of your opponents. It'll have them wondering, where should I hit the next return? I mean, compare these two situations. One is you have a team that never poaches. They're in their regular formation all the time. You, with confidence, you can return cross court. You get a groove. It's almost like you're in a ground stroke, drill rally first, in some sense that you can just comfortably hit it there. Now you compare it with a team who, every point, like they're either going to poach and the net player is going to go across the other side, or maybe they're going to fake poach and then go back, or maybe they're going to have like an I formation, both players in the middle, and then you don't know where the players are going to go. That's not a comfortable situation to be returning the ball in doubles, right? So you want to be that latter team. You want to be the ones who cause chaos, as Ian Westerman likes to say, who's on the summit as well from Essential Tennis. And you want to use these plays. So I want to just go through a couple of ways that I use these plays. I mean, poaching, I love to use against players that tend to hit cross court on the return most of the time. Even if they don't, I'll of course poach a couple times. But for these types of players, you can really disrupt their rhythm, and you cause pressure on the opponent at the baseline as well. You don't have to just poach on the serve. You can poach during cross-court rallies. Your partner is engaged in a cross-court rally, and let's say you see the opposing player on the baseline, maybe they're in trouble, they're on their back foot, then you should think and poach immediately, and in most cases. And so that's another way that I utilize poaching. I also love poaching on big points, because on big points, a lot of times the opponents are thinking to themselves, all right, let's play the percentages. Let's hit the return cross court. Let's hit cross court, whatever. And so that's the time. I mean, I remember playing a doubles match. I think this was a 9-5 men's combo match where it was 8-7 us in the tiebreak. So it was actually, 8-7 us serving. And I ended up calling a poach on both of those points, and we won both points. I had not easy, but fairly easy put away volleys, because the opponents, as I thought, they return cross court both times. The fake poach I love using after I use a poach a few times. And what I'll do is I'll try to sell it in advance. I'll move earlier than normal so that the returner sees me out of the corner of their eye moving. So then they return down the line, and then I go back, and then I'm able to have a volley. Australian, I love the Australian because it allows me to hit forehands when I'm serving to the ad side, and vice versa for lefties on the deuce side. So what that'll be is you have, say if I'm serving to the ad side and I'm playing doubles with Pete, a dream of mine, I'll have Pete on the same side as me, on the same side as me, and then once I serve the ball, I will move to the deuce court. So now I have my forehand side. So that's a lovely play. And then I formation, as I mentioned, you can cause maximum confusion, and you're both in the middle of the court. Server obviously on the center hash at the baseline. You're in the center at the net, and then you call first off the location of the serve, and then second is like where you're going. So if I'm a returner and I'm seeing the person at net in the middle and the server in the middle, I have no idea where they're going. I really don't. I mean, unless I try to pay attention to their pattern, maybe they're calling the same I formation, like where they're going and where they're serving every time. So then that's another tell, i.e. look at the first tip that I gave for the first most common mistakes, giving away cues. So those are, maybe I blabbered on too long, Pete, but those are the different ways that you can utilize these excellent formations to cause chaos and uncertainty against your opponents and get free, easy put away volleys a lot of the time. Any thoughts?
First of all, that was a great list. I loved it. Fantastic job. And
Thank you.
I'm going to add one to that from a 9-time Grand Slam champion, Rick Leach. So Rick Leach was a fantastic player, great doubles player. And he also says, anytime you see your opponent go to the slice backhand, go. Okay. That's one. Another one from Gigi Fernandez. So let's say you're a 3-0, you're a 3-5 player. Like, yeah, this sounds great, Mehrban. You've been playing a long time. You're athletic. You're confident in your volleys. You've got the timing of the poach. I really just am a fish out of water on the poach. And, maybe I know I need to work on my poach, but if I am poaching in a match a lot, we're going to be losing serve, so you don't want to be poaching to your detriment to where you're actually losing, a league match because you're poaching too much. Cause you just are told by coaches you need to do that. But I think a great way around that, because when we think poach, we traditionally think the plan poach, we traditionally think go off the serve. Go off the serve. I'm going to stay. I'm going to go. Gigi Fernandez has a great one, and she says we don't really do this at pro level. This works more at the recreational level, where you go, again, to have a conversation with your partner, and you say 1, 2, or 3. 1 means I'm going to poach on the first ball. 2 means I'm going to poach on the second ball that passes. 3 means I'm going to poach on the third ball that passes. And so, like, if you call 3, and then the serve goes, and then the return, that's 1. Then your partner hits it, the serving partner hits it back. Then the other person hits cross court, that's 2. Boom, your partner hits it back, and then it comes again, that's 3. I'm going no matter what. We both agreed, me and my partner both agreed. So you cut strong to the net strap, and your partner switches automatically. And so again, lots of times just creating that chaos, you're going to create unforced errors and you're going to have more confidence in going and you're going to be, pretty unpredictable. And I don't think any recreational team is doing that except for the people who listen to Gigi say this and actually then try it.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Thanks for that, Pete. And yeah, I forgot I actually had these these banners here to say like the biggest mistakes, but we'll use that again later. Brilliant stuff. Let's see. Let's check some comments here. So Tracy, I agree. I saw Ryan's discussion on changes grip for the volleys. Yep, it's probably the same one I saw. Trying with students. Awesome, Tracy. I'm glad you're helping students out. You sound okay. Good, loud and clear. Mike, okay. DT, yes, as John said. Oh, sorry. These are all like Mike comments. Margaret, I have a wicked lefty backhand volley, high, low, and in between. I find lefties have much better backhands all around. I will say that I feel like lefties have better feel for some reason than righties. And maybe this is just a small sample size, but I remember playing juniors and the few lefties that I played against, it seemed like they just had amazing feel and really good volley. So there may be something there with that. Let's see. Laszlo, where to aim with volleys? Deep to the baseline or wide to the sideline? That rhymes as well. What do you think, Pete?
It totally depends on the ball you're getting. I think you do want to be careful going wide to the sideline. Like if you're meaning the sideline, like trying to aim for the line or in the doubles alley, you're going to miss too many of those. And you really want to save those angle shots to where you feel pretty confident that you're going to get your opponent in some major trouble. Because if you create an angle by hitting your angle, you're creating angles. You're giving more options to your opponent. So again, I'm going to take this from Gigi Fernandez. She likes to teach her students to mostly keep their balls inside the singles court and get to the net, because then you're not opening up angles for passing shots. And then, when you get a good look, go short to short. If you're close in net and you have the angle and you're pretty confident, you're like 90% sure or more that your angle volley is going to end the point, then do that. But if you're like in trouble or like it's a 50-50 ball, creating an angle is probably going to put you and your partner in trouble because you're opening up angles and options.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff there. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Pete. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, if it's my mic that maybe sounds weird, let me know, but I think it's all right. So let's see. F equals MA. I like that. Reminds me of Isaac Newton.
Love Brad. I actually stayed with Brad in Florida at my Fort Myers camp, and he's
Oh, nice.
fantastic guy, and a great student and a very good player as well.
Fantastic. Shout out to Brad. Well done. Thanks. A good tip on extension. Thank you, Pete. Pat, high volley supination. Right on. Let's see. Christopher, Laszlo doubles go to the net player's feet. Yeah, that's a great one. Paul, snowing here. Yep. Net
Wow.
cord could be eyesight. That could be an issue. You do want to make sure that you have that 20/20 vision or get some spectacles or contacts to help with that. Jamie, yes, huge believer in bounce hit. That is a fantastic drill there. Paul, my problem is I stare at the target before I hit. Yes, so that is definitely a big issue. The way you want to do it is that when the ball is traveling to the other side of the court, that's when you want to pay attention to your opponent. Like, what are they doing? Like their cues? Are they in a defensive position? Are they leaning back, etc.? And then, when the ball's coming towards you, you want to be looking at the ball up until, after you've made contact and hit the ball. You don't want to be looking at your opponent's side or wherever else, like while you're hitting the ball. And, it's easier said than done, but a lot of players struggle with this. Even myself, sometimes I'll, whip my head and be looking at the target as well. So it definitely is a big one there. Brad, watching the seams has helped me. That's a good one. That is a good one. Bilal, Mehrban Iranshad giving me Mackie McDonald vibes. Or should I say Mackie McDonald gives me Mehrban Iranshad vibes. Bilal, you are the best. I'm going to read this comment over and over again. I really enjoy watching Mackie's game. He's very smooth. Yeah, great player. I love your content on Tennis Files, and I'm hyped for the summit. Go Duke. Thanks a lot, Bilal. Appreciate it. Tracy, yes, I use lots of Ryan's tips. That birthday hat. That's right. Birthday hat. And one more. For now, I use variation of bounce hit, i.e. turn through. Okay, great. Awesome. All right, Pete, what do you think? Should we
I think
go
you should go
to
to
the
number
fourth one?
four. Number 4.
All right. And this was actually kind of mentioned briefly by commenters. So my fourth one is that a lot of players at the 3 out of 4 or 5 level are just unable to handle heavy dippers like when they're volleying. So, just to clarify, it's like the dippers are the shots like when you're at the baseline and then you hit the ball such that it, has a nice arc, and then it forces the net player to hit either a half volley or a low volley. And it's just that most players at these levels, they don't have the necessary net skills, ball tracking, as we just talked about, and technique required to hit these dipping ground strokes. A lot of them, they're bending over, with their back instead of using their legs and bending that way and so forth. And, issues with stability of the racket and so forth. And so a majority of players are either going to miss this shot immediately, or they're going to pop up the ball, especially if you put a lot of spin on it. I mean, that's one of my favorite plays to do. Like Peter was talking about, you don't need to go for the outright winner. You can set yourself up, whether that's doubles or singles. So I like to hit very heavy topspin dippers and then get these pop-ups or misses. And then, if I get the pop-up or my partner does, they should be looking for that. Then they can have an easy put away volley. So I would definitely practice hitting dippers. If you play a lot of doubles, especially, it'll help you seize back control in rallies when your opponents are at the net or one is at the net. So that is the next most common, I guess, mistake or flaw, if you will, for 3 out of 4 or 5 doubles players. What say you, Peter?
I say that's great. It brings back a couple of things. Number one, the Bryan brothers did a video with Will Hamilton from Fuzzy O Balls, who's also part of the Tennis Summit. I mean, pretty much anybody you can think of that does online instruction as part of Mehrban Summit. That's why it's so great. That's why you need to get your lifetime access pass. So they talked about that they actually do a drill called dip and rip, to where they would work together and they would practice dipping the ball at the feet and then ripping. And it also reminded me of, we used to do this drill when I was a kid growing up called the passing shot drill. And the first shot, the person who was on the volleying side would have to start like in the midcourt and practice running up. And then the passing shot wouldn't try and hit a passing shot right away. Your job was to dip it at their feet and then try and pass them. And again, I think what happens too often is we go into freak out mode. We see 2 people come to the net and we try and rip it by them. And as that person's coming to the net, that's a great opportunity to get at their feet. So, many of your returns, you should try and get it around the service box, even landing a bit before the service box. If you can be money cross court hitting the service box return, especially if you're playing serve volley teams, or if they hit their serve and then they come in off their first shot, that first ball you're hitting at the service box, you're going to win so many points rather than just trying to pass them out of nowhere. So you got to work on this. So I worked on it as a junior, and then the Bryan brothers worked on it. So we know it's something you need to work on. This doesn't come natural.
Yeah, 100%, Pete. Appreciate that. Let's see. Is there a current player on the ATP Tour that has a net game that stands out to you worth mentioning, learning from? There's a couple that come to mind immediately. So Jack Sock is such a great doubles player. Yeah, if you watch him, and he's won, Grand Slam, at least one Grand Slam, I think, fairly recently, actually. And then also, highly underrated is Rafael Nadal. He's amazing at net as well. So a lot of people don't give him enough credit for that, I think. Peter, any on your end?
Well, there's only one true serve volleyer right now, and he's had some good results, but I haven't heard from him for a while. But he did good at the Australian Open. That's Cressy.
Yeah.
He serves and volleys. So, but again, thinking about what we can and can't do by referencing the pros is probably not a good idea. I mean, I think if you have good volleys, you're going to win a lot of points. Novak Djokovic is not on the other side trying to pass you. So, coming to the net And having good volleys is going to win a lot of points if they're confident.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let's see. Sud, how are you? I hope I pronounced that okay. I've started poaching with a two-handed volley on the back inside with the ball is high. I guess more like a swinging volley. Thoughts? So I guess that's fine if you're comfortable with it, as we mentioned, right, Pete? Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, Sud needs to ask himself, are you putting away those swinging volleys, or are you missing a lot of them? You know, if your partner's holding serve and you're winning points and you're timing that swinging volley right, then keep doing it.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Bilal, they call me a 4-0 Brooksby with my two-hand volleys. Yeah, it's not a bad nickname to have there. He's doing so well. Corey, you need to leave the high backhand volley to your partner. I mean, if your partner maybe is like near you and they can hit a forehand volley, perhaps. But I
Yeah, if
mean, a
it's in
lot
the
of times
middle,
it's
if it's in the
yeah,
middle, you can. If it's
yeah.
over on the alley, you got to figure out how to way to do something with it.
You, yeah, that'll be tough in certain cases. But yeah, I hear you. Peter, another shot I suffer with is a fastball to my backhand. Yeah, just like we were talking about. Oh, the ground stroke though. While I can adjust when hit hard to my forehand, I'm always late on the backhand side. Drills. What do you think, Pete?
Well, I would probably guess that on his forehand side, he might feel comfortable staying open hitting the ball. And so
Hmm.
I think a lot of people over time you get comfortable hitting open, and when you hit an open stance, the the one of the reasons why you want to do that is because you're forced into a situation where you don't have much time, whether the ball's coming fast and at your feet or you're having to run for a ball. But not a lot of people practice an open stance backhand. See, if you're stepping into a ball that's coming fast at you, you're creating a late contact point. If you stay open, you can still hit the ball out in front. So if I were him, I'd be having that ball machine firing balls at my feet. I'm at the baseline, and I'd be practicing open stance backhands with short backswings.
Excellent. Love that, Pete. Let's see. Donald Frew McMillan. I wonder what that's in reference to. Hmm. Let's see. Lynn, two-handed for swing volley, one-handed for slice. All right. I like it. I like it. Let's see. One-handed on all shots. Margaret, Michelle love 2-minute tennis. So do we for sure. Quick point. You're talking Australian and I formation. Many of may not be familiar. Yeah, that is true. That is true. We'll definitely describe it more in the summit sessions. So I did try to describe that during the explanation. You can always rewind during the replay and then listen to it, or obviously look it up as well during the summit in the doubles sessions. Let's see, 5 good reasons to use Australian. Let's see, is that what I said, or do we need to
No, I
recite
think
that?
I think he was saying you gave good
Yeah,
reasons. I don't
yeah,
think we need to
cool.
go over it again.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I love just using it to hit the forehand. And you can also a fake Australian as well. So you use the Australian a few times, right? And then all of a sudden you do the Australian again, but then you have the net player actually go from your side. That's a good one too. Uh, let's see. My dad always wanted us to use I or Aussie, but never felt like I've trained it enough to do it right. Already poaching, I have trouble recognizing the opportunity early enough. Yes. So, what are your thoughts, Pete, on some cues for returners, against returners for the net player to recognize when they should poach? I mean, aside from just calling poach automatically.
So again, we got some great coaches. Will has a good one. He talks about when if they're wearing a ball cap, when the head goes down to look at the ball, that's a great time to go. So if they're wearing a ball cap like me and Mehrban, you can watch them. They're gay and they're watching the ball. They're watching the ball. They go here, then you can start to cheat and go. Another thing is when you see your opponent get ready to start their momentum forward in their hips, they've already committed. So that's a good time to go. If they haven't committed their body forward into the ball, especially look at the hips and the hands. If that hasn't moved yet and you go, they can go, oh, they're gone. See ya, down the line winner.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And it's funny, like I love doing these two things, which is that a lot of times when I'm like on the back foot at the baseline, I'll actually, instead of hitting cross court, because I know that the player is going to poach, I actually kind of do a little buggy whip. This on the ad side, I guess, usually, and then go down the line and I'll catch them poaching. And then also like when I open my racket face up a bit for the slice, I actually go down the line sometimes because again, like you were mentioning, especially the advanced players or the more seasoned players, they're going to poach when they see that slice coming from the player who's on the run, but then you go down the line and get them. Let's see. Love that
So
idea.
sneaky.
I'm sneaky, I know. All right. Let's see. Tom, I have used GG's 1, 2, or 3 poaching. They're good stuff. Yeah, exactly. Tennis Con, another fantastic event from Peter that I love as well. When's that going to be, by the way, Pete? Is that November again?
October.
October.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. So
Excellent.
we usually get that going second, third week in October. Really excited about it, but it's all about the summit right now, baby.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Yes, for sure, for sure. So will this be yes? So this will be available as a recording. So once we finish, you will be able to watch it again, and I'll send an email out with the
Yeah,
recording.
I will
So
be sending an
definitely,
email as well.
thank you, sir. Let's see. At their feet, yes, that's always a good kind of mantra to follow. Let's see. Martina favors a newt volley that is low and lands around the service line because it's harder for the returner to rip it or lob it. Yes, I play with Will Hamilton. He lives around me actually, which is great, and he'll use that newt on me quite a bit because it's for sure. It causes a lot of issues, especially if you're not a great mover. Yep, newt. Good
Hmm.
stuff. Oh my gosh, already 9. That's amazing. All right, so how about we go to number 5
5.
then, Pete? What do you think?
I
All
think you
right,
should tell
so
us.
yeah, should I tell? All right, let me just go to these. I made these banners for
Yeah,
something,
put
right?
that
Number
fancy
5.
banner up.
Boom. Number 5
Oh,
is they play they play two tentatively / defensively. And I've learned this through a lot of experience. I used to play tight, feel tight during doubles matches, and this would lose me a lot of matches, to be honest. I'd be at the baseline a lot, and I just, I'd be like my weight would be shifting backwards and things like that. And then when you do that, like you're hitting weaker replies, and then that's just inviting them to bring the pressure on, and then all of a sudden you're facing two players at the net like hungry wolves, trying to pick off your shots and dominate, and you really do have to just keep the process in mind, the execution in mind, and figure out what it is that you need to do to win. I'm not saying that you need to like just blast the ball and go for huge shots, but you need to have a plan that includes being aggressive and causing chaos, and you really don't want to be on the back foot. I mean, unless you're playing stagnant players that aren't moving at all, not looking for opportunities. Like I've definitely lost a lot of matches playing too tentatively and defensively. And, I've had to remind myself recently to stick to the baseline and to be aggressive, move forward, things like that. And those have really helped me not only, perform better, but just also mentally as well, kind of free me up as well. So, Pete, what do you think about this one? Do you have any thoughts, any counterpoints as well are welcome?
I have a couple of thoughts. Number one, I think that is important is to, you know, play aggressive. And it's so easy to get so caught up in the result and not the process.
Yeah.
And I find that especially a lot. Again, I did a camp this weekend, and everybody agreed that they had a tougher time returning a slow serve than a fast serve. And that's because you
Mm.
feel that pressure, like this serve is a meatball. I know I should do something with it. And then usually what we think about, the something we need to do is we need to take a good whack at the ball. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I train them to do is to kind of get in the boxer shuffle, be dancing, be moving. And then if you watch the pros, see when the pros get a short ball, they don't watch it. They move into action and they start hopping and hovering. You'll see a
Mm-hmm.
flow and a rhythm to it. And they usually have a hop and then a hit right after that. And so the more you practice that and you actually develop that habit of your feet flowing to balls that you know you should be aggressive on rather than watching it and then thinking like, okay, you better hit this ball, that's when you're going to miss, because first of all, your feet get stuck, your mind starts to put all kinds of pressure on you. But if you can learn to play in a flow to where your feet are always dancing to the ball, then all of a sudden you're going to be playing without thinking as much. Of course, you're always thinking when you're playing tennis, but the more your feet get into a flow, that's why coaches keep begging you to move your feet, because they know once I can get my student moving their feet into a flow, then they're going to play better tennis. It's going to free their game up. The more my student stands flat footed, they're going to think too much, they're going to swing too big, and they're going to miss. So you got to work on that footwork, because then that will start to automate your hits rather than just telling yourself to be more aggressive.
Love that, Pete. And I just want to mention, I know I mentioned it like in the emails and stuff, but stick around till the end because we're going to give out some prizes at the end of this stream. So this is only, obviously for those who are live on the stream. So for those of you in the replay, unfortunately we can't we don't have the technology to go back and just give out prizes in a replay, but excited to do that. And Pete gave me some really good trivia questions, so stick around till the end for those prizes, courtesy Babolat. Thank you, Babolat. Appreciate that. Alan Iverson, who is on the summit as well, to talk about how to just get the most out of your racket.
We're talking about practice. Are we talking about practice?
It's the wrong one.
Not the game. Oh, not that Alan Iverson. Oh, okay.
Not that one. Oh my! I can't imagine how many times Alan's gotten that. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Wait, did I get Jim's? Martina Favors. Oh yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Pat, how do players poach and get to high balls that are kind of wide and high? How do you get over in time and still be able to get body into that? Yeah, I mean that kind of comes with really timing that poach to perfection, and then of course athletic ability. And I mean the thing is that like those shots it's going to be very rare that somebody's going to be execute such an amazing cross court return shot that it's going to be out of your reach. And in those cases, you just have to, clap and try to make them do it again. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know if any other thoughts, Pete.
Well, yeah. Also, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's a game that you have plays, you have ideas of what you want to do, but your opponent has something to say about it as well. So not everything is going to work all the time. It doesn't mean you don't try and do it. But with that said, is if you're poaching and you see that high ball, rather than, I mean, the idea of a poach is I'm going to poach, I'm going to nail it at the short person. But what a lot of people will not do is they won't go to plan B. So you poach. All of a sudden the ball is high. You realize your arm's fully extended. Now, rather than putting this pressure on, like, how do I still get power on that? Don't worry about it. What you need to start doing is looking for the part of the court that's safe. So if you're poaching and then the net person's in front of you, that's not safe. You volley it to them, you're going to volley up, they're going to put the ball away. So you're looking for, is that person back there still at the baseline? Did they not come in? Let me try and volley the ball back to them and then give me and my partner time to reset. Guys, don't even be afraid to hit like a lob volley back to the corner. That's going to give you time to reset. Most people are going to back up on that and still give you an opportunity to get offense next shot.
Brilliant stuff. So what do you think, people? Take a few more and then talk about a fantastic, amazing bonus that I'm really grateful for, honestly, Pete, for you to offer, and then we'll go to prizes. All right.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's see. Martinez prognosticator. Yep. Very good. Yeah, we have a lot of comments, which I love. Jason Bourne. Wow. Honor. Can you comment on the role of the wrist in a forehand? Some coaches advise the active wrist involvement while others disagree. That's a great question. What do you think, Pete?
Well, that's the thing that's been around for a while. You hear some coaches say, the wrist is not involved on your forehand, and other players, then other coaches say, wrist mobility. I do believe wrist mobility is important, but I'll just, again, maybe you could just blow it up and I can kind of show. So when you're hitting, the biggest thing you don't want to do, I think a lot of people, recreational players that get confused and they want to hit topspin, they think as they get to the contact point, they start to manipulate the wrist and hit the ball, right? And if you're doing that, then that's where your ball is going to kind of go all over the place. And you might put overspin on it right into the net, or you might mistime your flip over and then the ball goes out. So Rafa, who I've got my Rafa shirt on, he's the best example of this. If you watch him on TV, it looks like he's just using his wrist. But if you watch his contact point, his wrist is in a laid back position. It's actually not moving. Okay. He's here. And I think right before you go to hit, you're here, you feel that wrist kind of come back, and you kind of feel with your hip and your hand and your shoulder and everything. It's the kinetic chain, everything's involved, but you kind of feel like your hands start to do something, right? And then as you're coming to the ball, you want a stable wrist. And then as you're hitting through, then you start to turn the doorknob and use your wrist again. But the one place you don't want to use your wrist on is when you're hitting the ball, because then when you start to do that, it's going to do all kinds of funky things. So there is wrist involved, but there's not really wrist used so much as you're hitting the ball. You want that racket head stabilized as you're hitting. It doesn't mean that you're holding the racket tight to hit it. It just means that the wrist is in a stable position as you're hitting it. You don't want it turned or weak or like that, because then the ball is not going to go anywhere near where you want it.
Brilliant. Love that, Pete. Thank you for that. Great advice. You're the man. Paul, if your dips are good, better be ready to move up fast so that the opponent's less than clean hit doesn't give them a cheap drop shot winner. Yeah, and that's all part of anticipation, right? Like when you hit that dipper, you definitely want to be moving up. I mean, it's it doesn't even seem physically possible, or as far as the angles that they're going to hit like a fantastic deep shot. So you have to be ready for those sorts of shots to come up. So great stuff, Paul. Aaron, how about preparing for funny bounces of the service line when playing on the hard true courts? Any thoughts? Skating off the line with low ball or bouncing high off a nail that secures the line? Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why you've got to train yourself to be focusing on the ball as much as you can. And some of these bounces are just going to be just obviously bad luck that you can't really deal with depending on the bounce and the maintenance of the court. But yeah, I mean, the better you can focus on the ball, the quicker you'll be able to react to any sort of bounces. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're looking at the target, then you're not going to adjust your swing at all. You won't have any opportunities. So you at least give yourself the best chance by focusing on that ball and doing the bounce hit drill and other drills that we mentioned. Any thoughts on that, Pete?
Well, so you're coming to the net. You got the low ball at the service line. It's, I mean, sometimes it like hits a nail, and skids. I mean,
Yeah.
again, yeah, you might not be able to handle that ball, but in general, you're gonna be able to make more adjustments the better the flow is in your feet. Really time, so you can have a ball machine come and time the ball machine to kind of feed it at your feet, and then practice running in and getting your split step timing down right, and making sure that your racket head is out in front, to where even though you're not going to look at your racket head as you're hitting, but you can kind of tell that you're seeing the racket head and that's not way behind here, because then you're not going to be able to make the adjustment. So the shorter your backswing, the more you can kind of see the racket head in view, and the better you kind of get that timing of the split and flow forward, you're going to be able to make those little last second adjustments. Where if you don't practice footwork and you just think about hitting the ball, I think half of the battle on any shot is making sure that your feet are in a flow and that you understand all the different ways your body can move to get a ball that's outstretched, the ball that's coming fast, a ball that's coming into your body. You most of the time you got to initiate that with nice footwork and good hands.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Good stuff. Then we're going to take a couple more because I know it's already, we got a couple other things to do on this live
Yeah.
stream, and it's probably going to go till an hour and a half. I know that Peter needs his beauty sleep and has other stuff going on. You had a camp this weekend, right? So super busy. Appreciate you coming on. Incorporate. Oh, thank you, man. Incorporate offensive lobs with top when practicing dippers, DT. I think that's a good idea, variation. How about you?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you have the skill to,
Yeah.
show that you can dip it and then hit a topspin lob. But here's the thing. And again, I mean, I can tell you from experience every day, guys, I coach high performance juniors, these kids that you're like, you watch them hit ground strikes, like, oh my God, they're amazing. You feed them a lob, they cannot put an overhead away. They miss so many
Mm,
overheads.
yeah.
Recreational, I think up until a very high level 4 or 5, of course, there's always the outlier who loves overheads, who's a 3-5 or a 4-4-0. But for the most part, I think people put too much pressure on them to make great shots. If I got into a little bit of trouble and someone's coming to the net, I'm just trying to hit the ball high and get it to the service line and a little beyond. I'm not trying to get it just over their outstretched racket and hit this amazing shot with super amount of topspin. I'm not trying to make a ball lob back on the baseline. Just get it beyond the service box high. No one's putting that ball away, guys. No one. In fact, they're missing it like 50% or more of the time. And then probably the other 25%, they're putting the ball in weakly, which you can then take offense on. And then maybe, 20 to 10% of the time, they're actually hitting a strong overhead that you have a tough time getting back, or it's a winner.
Yeah. Love that. Thanks, Peter. Let's see. Tom Nordstrom. Go back to Johnny Mack for volley and doubles excellence. Definitely a legend there. Bad bounces and skids off line. Welcome to clay. Seriously, yeah, it really. Paul Fred Fru McMillan reference old school. Yeah, I looked that up. You can tell that I'm somewhat young, I guess, because I did not know about Mr. McMillan, but I looked him up, and yes, clearly a old school player with, I guess, the two-handed backhand volley. That's why they mentioned Fru there. Good stuff. Peter, like Oktoberfest. That's a fun event, by the way. Laszlo, how about net player is on the same side as the server? Yeah, Australian formation. Big serve cross. Hard to change the ball direction on return. Automatic poaching. Yeah, definitely. I like that picture, by the way, Laszlo. Pat, Bethany Maddox Sands, awesome doubles player. Yes. All right, Pete. So how about we talk a little bit about this awesome, package that we put together? Would you like me to go first, I guess, or do you want to go first?
Well, how about I go first, and then you can show them all the stuff that they're getting besides my bonus. So it does pay to be on these live streams because we do offer special deals. Just because you guys are taking action, and obviously I believe in this information. You've heard me mention Will. You've heard me. I mean, I'm mentioning so many different specific coaching tips that I use Ryan's tips. I use Mehrban's tips. I mean, I suggested Mehrban do this tonight because I listened to it myself and said, this is good. So as a passionate coach, as you guys passionate players, the more information you arm yourself with and build your library up, the better you're going to be. You're going to have better drills. You're going to have better strategy, you're going to be more mentally tough. You're going to have fitness drills. And the tennis summit is literally pulling together the best coaches in the world. So, you're basically going to be drinking out of a fire hose for the next week, and you're just going to be blown away by the amazing content. But if you really want to get the most out of it, it's like, do you want to go on a diet for 3 days and then claim victory? Or do you want to say it's my lifestyle, and keep doing it? That's how you get better. So I highly encourage you to pick up the lifetime access pass. So to do that, I'm going to start sharing my screen here, and then not until you see the whole thing come up, Mehrban, will you let it go. But I put together 3 bonuses because my presentation is about the net this year. And we talked about doubles tonight. So I think that this fits in really well. So I am basically giving away 3 bonuses. Don't show them yet, Mehrban. Don't show them yet. Let me go back. How do I go backwards? Okay, hold on. Don't show them yet.
Okay. Yeah, and this is in addition, everybody, to the all access pass and everything, which we'll talk about. So you'll get these 3 or these bonuses. So it's good. So I'll add it.
Okay, you can show them now. Okay,
it's on. You see it?
Okay, yes. So if you upgrade to lifetime access rather than your 48-hour access, right now the way the Tennis Summit works is when Monday happens, you can watch Monday till basically Wednesday, and then those lessons are going to go away. And unless you have your lifetime access pass, you can't see it again. But If you upgrade to lifetime to where you can get all those lessons, you can watch them anytime, anywhere you want. I'm also, if you buy off my link, so I know my buddy Mehrban's going to put that link in the comment section. If you buy off my link, I'm going to give you 3 big bonuses when you upgrade. Give me a little bit of time. When you sign up for Mehrban's thing, you're going to get access to his stuff right away. And then I've got to take the buyers list and set you guys up. So it's going to take a little while, maybe 24, 48-hour access. So if you don't see it right away, don't think I'm like, oh, Pete pulled the wool out. No, you're going to get it. Trust me. And if you don't get it, just email me. Okay, so big bonus number 1, worth $97, is next level doubles. And really, $97 is kind of ridiculous because I made 108 videos, and it's on strategy, it's on drills, it's on playing with weak partners. You can kind of see here to the side. I don't know if you guys can read that, but this is part of the course. This is probably like, I don't know, 30% of the course because it's a screenshot. So it's like when to poach. When and how do I come to the net in a doubles rally? When and how do I set up my partner to close out a point? How do I understand how to effective shots and take advantage? Best tactic to use to play with a weak partner. How to play with forever changing partners, which I know you guys deal with in leagues. How to neutralize somebody who is a poach monster. So you're playing somebody who's killing you on the poach. What are some things you can do? Who should play which side? How to deal with people who dink and lob. What happens when I am the inferior partner? What happens when you're the weak link? I've been the weak link before. What happens if your buy is not in the best position? Running plays with your partner. Then there's drills in this. So this is the first bonus, and you get it when you upgrade. You can see here there's 108 videos. This is just one of the, we talked about this tonight. How do I handle a high backhand volley? Well, here's a video right on that. I'm showing you guys how to handle a high backhand volley right on this video. Okay. So that is one of the bonuses. The next big bonus is called No Fear Net Play. I call it No Fear Net Play because I find a lot of people when they play doubles, they look very afraid. In fact, you see this little green line here? That's part of the court. I see so many people, their partner serving, they're hanging out on that green line and in because they don't want to be part of the action. They'd rather their partner miss and say, well, I didn't miss, you miss, because they're afraid to make plays at the net because they know that their technique is not there. They're afraid to hit these volleys in the midcourt and transition. They're afraid to hit backhand volleys. They know that when they get looks at the volley, because you got to be like a surgeon up there and put the ball away in 1 or 2 shots. Otherwise, you're going to get passed or lobbed, or you're going to miss, or your partner's going to miss. So you've got to be really great at the net. You're going to see my top 10 list when you guys are watching the Tennis Summit. But this shows you how to, chapter 1, forehand volley. Chapter 2, backhand volley. Then we go to ball spacing and movement. Moving is so important to hitting good volleys. It's not about, hitting the ball. It's about moving the right way, cutting off angles, the drop shot, hitting good drop shots, wall drills you can practice, warm-up drills you can do with players and by yourself. Add power to your volley. So actually hitting a volley that's got pop to it. Safe spots on the court. You get into some trouble, and instead of trying to put the ball away at the net person, which they're going to deflect it and make you lose the point, where are some safe spots to go when you got a tough volley? Where are the hot shots to go to win points? And where are the danger zones where you should not be hitting your volleys? Chapter 9, midcourt mastery practice. So how can you practice and get great here? If you watch the Bryan brothers practice, they often will practice in the backcourt, improving net coverage, accuracy, and volley skills. And by the way, again, there's more to this course. It's just cut off because this is a screenshot. $97 value. You get it. Then finally, the 7-day double specialty shot challenge. So this is a 7-day challenge that you can go through and you can practice different shots. You can practice right here in this drill. I'm showing you guys how to hit an awesome lob right here over the net person, right here by these cones, this person serving. I'm showing you how to do that. I show you how to chip and charge. I show you how to crush and rush. I show you drills, how to poach, how to hit your drop shot. how to hit a mid-court volley and give you drills and exercises to do. So that is another one that you can do. By the way, you can also use the video ask. I'll be checking in. Video ask is something to where you're watching one of the lessons, you're trying one of the drills, and you want to ask me a question. Well, if you pop it in video ask, I'll basically get a notification that you put a video ask in. I'll come back on video and answer it. I'll come. You'll see me. I'll be talking to you. I'll be saying, Tom, like Tom Nordstrom uses video. Tom, if you're still on, how many video ask conversations have we had? It probably is getting to the thousands now. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. We've
Smart man.
We've probably had 1,000 video ask conversations back and forth between him showing me on the court, asking me questions, him showing me his dogs and house, me showing me my dogs. So use the video ask, and you can even show me on the court what you're having trouble with. So that's $67 right there. So that's $261. And that's just the bonus. Mehrban, show them everything that they're getting. I'm stopping sharing my screen. And this is literally what you're getting tonight. What I'm giving is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, I and Pete, we just love to over deliver, right? So this is like a ridiculous like package in my opinion, So with your all access pass, that is only a one-time, and just to be clear, one-time fee of $97 at this point, you will get lifetime access to all 40 plus Summit masterclasses, including the live streams, the on-court lessons, the points analysis and technical breakdowns, all of these things, which is really going to help your game. And you'll want to have these in your library with lifetime access so that you can go back to them whenever you want inside your members area. So that is a huge value there. And then you're getting the audio files of all these summit sessions as well. So you can listen to them anywhere that you are. I mean, I love listening to, audio files when I'm, doing things in the house, or, taking a shower, even things like that before bed, all that stuff. So you get that as a bonus. And then you'll get transcripts of all the summit sessions as well, so that you can read them whenever you'd like. And then you'll see the value is just increasing exponentially. And then you're getting these Tennis Summit implementation worksheets so that you can summarize and get the most important points out of each session. And then you're getting exclusive access to the Summit Facebook group, where we chat about tennis and post tennis content as well in there. So it's always great to talk with the community. Pete, you were going to say something?
Well, that's going to be really valuable this year, because I and other coaches, after the summit is over, we're going to come back for some Q&As. Did I blow that? But that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, so. Yeah, exactly. And then also members only. Yeah, members only. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's all good. And then you also will get a members only Q&A live stream with me and the guest coach as well. So that's going to be fun. And then you're going to get, this is new for this year, you're going to get a free set of Signum Pro or Genesis strings. So I will actually email you a link the week after the summit, within a week or two, for you to fill out a few or to answer a few questions, and then you'll get sent strings based on your preference. So this is pretty cool. You're going to get this free pack of tennis strings as well from my friend Richard Gronewald, who's also going to be on the summit as well. And then you'll get other special deals and discounts from our sponsors, as well as learning materials like PDFs, slideshows, things like that. And then what you're going to get, as Pete mentioned, on top of all of this right here for the one-time fee of $97, is you're going to get the No Fear Net Play. You're going to get the Next Level Doubles. You're going to get the 7-day doubles specialty shot challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, you're going to get all of these right here on this slide for only $97. And it's really, in my estimation, humbly, a really great deal. And you're going to get all these lifetime access. You can go back to them whenever you want. This could quite possibly be the best deal ever on the internet. So I think it's fantastic. And I really have Peter to thank, for offering, these 3 bonuses that he's put a lot of hard work into if you use the link. So we'll put that in the chat once more, or, again, at least once more. Let me know if you don't see it. And if you're on the summit page while you're watching this, you'll see one of the green buttons will allow you to click that and then purchase. And you will only get Peter's bonuses, obviously, if you use his link to get the all access pass. So there you go with that. So yeah, very valuable right here. Any other thoughts on that, Pete?
Definitely use my link. And here's the other thing, Mehrban, what happens if they're like, well, geez, you've got 40 of the best coaches on the planet. You've got all that $2,700 worth of product material to go through, including my bonuses. What happens if somebody goes, you know what? I think this still sucks. I don't like it. What happens if that happens?
You get a refund. So it's no risk. I mean, instantly, like I instantly, if you have an issue with it and you don't like it, like refunds, no issues. So money back guarantee is right there for you all. So yeah, there's that. So it's really a great opportunity. And also, Pete, by when do they have to, purchase the all access pass with your link to get the bonuses?
Well, the thing is, I'll be checking it every day. What I am going to be doing is, if you're on this call, you're getting those bonuses. But if you're somebody who's aware of the bonus and you bought, I'm going to try and get everybody my 3 bonuses. Okay. But it's better to take action right now so you don't forget and that you can dive in. Plus, it's going to take me a couple of days to get you your bonuses, because I've got to take the buyer sheet, get you set up, get you a user and a password, and get back to you. So, the earlier you jump on this, the better it's going to be, because you're not going to be stressed out. And I just want to, because when you see all these price values, you kind of question, like, well, is this really that valuable? But if you're, call up any of these coaches, like Rick Macy, for
Mm-hmm.
example. I actually took a lesson with Rick Macy. It ended up costing me over $1,000 just for 1 hour lesson, because I had to go to Florida. I had to pay him $500 to take the lesson.
It's 800 now,
Oh,
by
it's
the way.
800 an hour.
Now
The
it's
guy,
800.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
FYI. It's on his
so
website.
when Mehrban's saying these values, you might think, well, he's just making this up out of thin air. I mean, just Rick Macy is 500 an hour. People came and took lessons with me this weekend. It was $1,400 a person. And then this one lady who's actually come to a couple of my clinics, she wrote me how happy she was with the 4-hand challenge. And she goes, this blueprint is exactly what I need to do that. And it's funny that I go to my club, you always think, well, hey, it's in person. And, maybe I'm getting more value with my coach who's on the court. And she said, and it's funny that I go to my club and pay pros $80 an hour and ask for information or tweaks to help me improve. And they either tell me I'm doing great, but sometimes add more topspin, like basically saying, like, she keeps going to all these lessons, paying $80 a pop each and every time. And then once the lesson's over, guess what? You can't, go back and remember everything the coach said. And that $80 is come and gone. And lots of times they're just giving you very vanilla tips and just keep going. Where every single time you do an online session with one of these coaches from Mehrban's live streams, they're going through such crazy detailed information in each topic that you're going to really understand everything that's being taught and every single thing that you do.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I just want to do a real quick scroll through of some of the sessions. So let me try to share my screen real quick. Let's see here. Hopefully this will work. Window. And yes. All right, share.
Well,
Oh,
I
I
just
can't
want to
see it right
answer
now.
John right
Yeah,
now.
go ahead.
John said, and John came out to Florida, which was great. Super nice guy. He said, if I already signed up for my lifetime pass, how do I get Peter's bonus? If you signed up on my link, John, I will have it in my buyer's link, on my buyer's, information page, and I can set you up with those bonuses. If even you've been such a great customer that even just email me so I don't forget. But if you're not on my link list, I'm not going to see that you bought from me, and you're not going to get your bonuses. I'll make a special exception for John because John has come out to Texas with me and Florida. Okay, so
Wow.
that's why I will hook John up no matter what. Okay, but in general, you got to buy from my link so then I can actually see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense, Pete. Thanks a lot for that. And yeah, let me just share the screen. Ah, dang it. Let's see. Check who Well, I just want to list a few of the the people who are going to be on the summit. I mean, you've got Jeff Salzenstein, you've got Pete, you've got Brady Height, you've got Ryan Reedy, Kevin and Megan Garlington, Greg Lesueur from Online Tennis Instruction. We've got a live stream tomorrow with Gigi Fernandez, Q&A session. You've got Dr. Mark Kovacs, David Bailey, John Craig. We're doing a live stream as well on Technique Breakdown, which is going to be fun. Grant Vanderhayden. Just so many amazing coaches here. Paul Anacone, Rick Macy, who we mentioned, Jorge Capistani, Mark Sofolis, Scott Baxter, and Nathan Bowling, Louis Caillet, who we mentioned as well, Will Hamilton, Ian Westerman. Yeah, I mean, everybody, if you know them online, they're probably on this on this summit. Jeff Greenwald, Larry Lauer, who's the head USTA mental game expert there. Satoshi Ochi, who's also there's a top fitness coach there. Nathan Martin, Dean Hollingworth, Tara Collingwood. So yeah, it's just an amazing lineup, and I think everybody should really check it out. And I think you'll really enjoy it. And then, like we talked about, the all access pass, so that you can just take your time and go to each session at your leisure, and then go back to it over and over, because it is like a reference library where you might remember, like, oh, what was that tip again, and then you can go back to the your library and then check that out. So really useful stuff there.
Yeah. So imagine this. What are the top 5 guys right now? Can you name the top 5 tips that we went through? And if you can do it without thinking, then great. I remember, I know Mehrban went through the top 5, but I don't know if I can remember them right now. So, I mean, that's how we need to keep reviewing this stuff. So that's the benefit of having a lifetime access pass, because you're going to hear some stuff. You're like, that was really good. And then 2 days later, you're going to have another million things that happen in your life. And you're going to be like, I completely forgot what they said on that stream.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So I appreciate that. So we're going to come back on, and we're going to do prizes now.
Oh, yes.
So let's do that. So I'm going to, we're not going to take forever. I know people have stuff to do. But let's see. So the first prize that I'll give out is RPM Rough, which is a really nice string. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
Thank you to Babolat for that. So the question is, who won the Monte Carlo Masters today?
The first person to type it in will get it.
First person.
So type it in. We'll be looking. You can just put last name too. Okay, I see a Sisyphos from BZ9. Is that the first one you see?
Yeah, that should be the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
got
first
that.
one. So, and I'm just double checking on. Oh, you know what? This is a tricky. Yeah, it is BZ. I was checking on YouTube just to make sure, because we're on a different, streaming client and all that. So, BZ, thank you, Paul, for confirming. BZ, can you please email me at mehrban@tennisfiles.com? That's MEHRBAN @tennisfiles.com, and tell me the prize that you won, and then give me your address and social security. Not the social security. Don't worry about that. Yeah. So this is what you got, but just for my records, so that I can, make sure I give you the right one. So well done, BZ9. Brilliant. The next one is who did Tsitsipas beat and then spell it correctly?
Spell the last name. Only the last name.
Yeah.
Who did he beat?
Oh, and you're getting this Excel.
Comfort Power. Okay, I see Rodrigo. Oh, no. I think it's Lazo. Lazo was above that.
I see Bilal above that. Do you see Bilal?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm
Comes
like
in
triple
fast.
checking, guys.
I see
You know, and
Bala. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and you know, I'm like double, triple checking, so it may look initially like you had won or something, but I'm looking on both YouTube and our chat function. So, yep, it's Bilal. So Bilal, well done. Email me your address and what you've won, which is the Excel Babolat string.
Okay.
Excelente. Alrighty then, let's go for another one.
What's the next
Alezo,
string?
yeah, unfortunately we had someone else who got it first, Bilal. So the next one is, who did
Wait, when are they
Fokina
going to
beat?
win? Where are they going to win?
Oh yeah, thank you. Jeez.
Gee. It's another comfort.
Addiction.
So what does that mean? What does that string do for them? What are they going to get out of this string? Do you know? Or am I
Well,
putting you
this
too
one's a
much on the spot?
multi-filament. The other one, what's the other one? So they're both actually multi-filaments. The first one is a polyester string or copolyester, and then the last one is a multi-filament, and this one is also a multi-filament, but it's slightly different in its properties. I believe this one has a little bit more, a little less power, but a little more durability for the addiction.
And comfort. It feels good on the
Yeah,
arm.
comfort as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the question is, wait, did I ask that yet?
No, you didn't ask the
Who did?
question yet.
Okay, good. Who did Fokina beat to get to the finals?
Last name. What? Do you see last? He cheated, I think. Or maybe, did you ask you must have asked the question.
I kind of did.
Okay. Wait, I see Netcord Nick above him. I think Netcord Nick might have gotten the first one. Yeah.
Wait, what? Well, you mean the one like this question?
Yeah, Dimitrov. Netcord
All right, let
Nick
me do
got
a
it.
scan. So I see Dimitrov, Netkornik.
I think he's the first.
Dimitrov. Yeah, I think that's right. Let me double check, you know, because I don't want anybody to get, you know, mad or anything. So, yep, Netcord Nick. Yep. Well done, Netcord. So again, please email me at mehrban@tensfiles.com and let me know what you won, which is the addiction. All right. And then the next prize is going to be this Babolat sack pack.
Nice.
Plus,
oh, can I win that? I could never have enough grips.
Probably hook it up. Get a grip, Pete. Sorry, that was a bad pun.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So yeah, sack pack and the 3-pack of over grips. And the question is, who won the Miami Masters women's?
Good question.
Let's have a little scan.
Good question.
You came up with that, or maybe all of them.
I came up. Okay, I see Jack.
Jack.
Is that who you see first?
Let me double check. Yeah,
pretty sure.
Yep. It's Jack.
You know, Jack is really good because I remember he won one of my trivia games, and I had to send him some stuff. So good job.
Have you ever thought of Jeopardy? Jack, have you thought of Jeopardy?
I mean, he's good. He's always in the winner's circle.
Well done.
So Iga is now #1 in the world. So she's on a really hot streak.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay.
And then good stuff. And then the next question is, I got to tell the prize.
The prizes. I mean, come on. Get your act together.
It's so late. No, the next prize is a Babolat towel plus overgrip. So you're gonna stay dry with the double, you know.
Yeah, I love it.
Here.
These are good prizes.
Again, and if you won, please email me. I should probably write this down actually. But yeah, so yeah, I gotta write them down. And the question is, who won the Miami Masters men's tournament?
Oh my gosh, take that off.
Oh, what is this stuff? There's some interesting comments coming in here.
Yeah. Get that out of there.
I need to ban that. Okay, good.
Okay, we have some correct answers. I see Laszlo winning again. Am I right? Oh,
Well, I
no,
think
I
this is
see Jack. No, I see Shula. Shula.
Shula. Okay. Let me double check
Oh,
there.
no. Tom Nordstrom. He said Alcaraz, I was there. That's the first one I'm seeing. Yes, Tom Nordstrom. Tom Nordstrom.
Alcaraz, I was there. Okay. Yeah. Tom, you're the winner. So Tom, please again email me. Oh, I will give a caveat. If any of you are international, unfortunately, I don't think it's it's extremely difficult. So I will instead give you something else. So I should have said that beforehand.
Something you can send them through internet.
Yes, something I can send you to the internet that
Maybe like
I think you will like. So
Tennis
we'll
Express gift
arrange.
certificate. I think Tennis Express gift certificate or something like that.
That's a great idea. Great idea. Yeah. So
That's
we'll
what I
arrange
do.
for something. Oh, smart. Thank you. Oh, you're the man.
I'm so sorry.
So yes. So those are the prizes for today. And we are going to do we're gonna do some more giveaways on some of the other live streams too. So I'll let you know about that because I did get it. And if you saw in the picture, I got some other stuff. So I do want to thank everybody for coming. And sorry if we didn't get to all your comments. There's just so many good ones, except for that spam we saw. And and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I also do want to definitely highly encourage you to get the all access pass, and I want to put that
link in there.
Link one more time because again, you're getting, and I'm going to put that up one more time. This is all the stuff you're getting with the all access pass if you sign up through Peter's link. And again, it's the master classes, the audio downloads, the transcripts, the implementation worksheet, the Summit Facebook group access, the members only live stream Q&A. You get a free set of Signum Pro or Genesis strings. You get special deals and discounts from the sponsors, and you get no fear net play from Peter. You get next level doubles from Peter, and you get the 7-day double specialty shot challenge from Peter. All for a one-time fee of $97. I think that's an amazing value, honestly. One of the best I've ever seen. And we just like to over-deliver and give you the most we can for your money. We know you work hard for it. So there you go. So, yeah, go ahead.
Can you do me a favor? So, guys, he put that link in there. Plus, I think if you're on the actual Summit page right now, you can click that upgrade to lifetime. And if you could do me a favor, Mehrban, and make like a quick banner. Remember, give me about 24 to 48 hours to get it into your library. It's because people get confused. If you sign up, you should be able to set up a user and password to get Mehrban stuff instantly. Am I right on that, Mehrban?
Yes.
Okay, so that should happen instantly. If it doesn't, again, email Mehrban and he'll set you up. Okay. And give me about 24 to 48 hours access, 24 to 48 hours time to set you up with my bonus access. Because again, I've got to take the buyer's list and set you up. Okay. So it's not like when you sign up that we have the technological capabilities of like giving you his pass and my bonus. It's going to be two separate things. Okay. And if you could put my email address. So if you do wait and you're like, it's 48 hours, what the heck? I signed up. I never got my bonus. Email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. Mehrban will put that in there right now, and I will set you up. And again, if I don't answer, right, or you're not set up, and you like, I sent an email, guys, I'm telling you, I'm not on a plane to Mexico and running and like fooling you. Okay. I just didn't see it or something. So just email me again. I promise you'll get in. Okay. I promise you that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when people are setting up their user and their password, sometimes it's user error. Like sometimes it's your fault. And then sometimes it could be technology's fault. But I promise you, you'll get in. I promise. And that's all I got to say about that.
Excellent. So I'm going to put the link in here just one more time. And there you go. And again, if you're watching this on the Summit page, there's a green button as well that you can click for the All Access Pass. And also, just in case you have not actually signed up for Tennis Summit 2022, there's a link that you can go to sign up for it as well. So
Get your free
that's in
pass.
the button down below, or just go to Tennis Files Summit. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. tennisfilesummit.com/Pete22. So yeah, there you go for that. And I'll put Peter's link for the free pass as well. And that's about it. Pete, any other last comments? I know we've gone hour 47. So again, thanks so much for taking the time tonight. Any last words?
Watch as much as you can, and you'll see the value, guys. I mean, I still think of so many things I've watched on the Tennis Summit and Tennis Con. And I know that Mehrban is proud of the work he's doing, because I know when I do the Tennis Con, I'll go through the material and I'll be like, this is so good. Like you just go, wow, it really is amazing. And there's so many things that I know Mehrban has learned from putting these on that he uses in his fitness routines, in his tennis matches, when he's coaching, because this stuff is valuable. If you value tennis, if you believe that you can always learn and always get better, then this is going to be a fantastic week for you. And, if you have it in your library to go over and over again, with so much garbage out there today,
Yeah.
that you have to
Yeah.
buy, and you don't even get a guarantee that you'll get a refund, and that you've wasted your money on, this is something you're going to be happy with if you love tennis. That's all I have to
Yeah.
say.
100%, 100%. So I appreciate it, everybody. I see Tom and Nick trying to arrange for like different prizes. So I hope you all please try to coordinate that so that I can send the right things to you all. But everybody, thanks so much, and be sure to sign up through Peter's link for the All Access Pass. And also tomorrow's sessions will be the technique day, the first technique day. Really exciting. And so we're gonna have Jeff on there about the biggest serve power leaks, Pete with picture perfect volleys, how to hit those, Brady Height with how to hit a great backhand slice, Ryan Reedy with how to hit the one-handed backhand, Kevin and Megan Garlington on how to be a consistent winning tennis player, Greg Lasser on serve technique masterclass, how to hit a massive kick serve, and then Gigi Fernandez for that live Q&A at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So you do not want to miss that. And again, thanks so much, everybody, for coming to this live stream. It was really fun, and I look forward to the several others that we have going on, including at least a couple more with my friend Pete here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Pete. Reach out to me if you need anything, and we will see you again very soon. Take care, everybody.
See you guys.